Welcome back inside Studio A here at Radio Bloomington. That is the WJBC studio, and I'm Mark Strauss, the TV guy on the radio. Glad to have you with us here on this Monday, sunny Monday. At least the start of the week is good in terms of weather. Could see some snow toward the end of the week. I know you're sick of it. I am too. But there's no getting away from it right now. So we'll try not to think about it. This half hour, we're going to tell the story of a gentleman by the name of Gary Fulk, a long-time firefighter and paramedic. Did it for over 35 years, and he's still doing it through his own business called CODEBUSTERS. And he did that, established his business, and then reached out to the Small Business Development Center at Illinois Wesleyan University. Karen Bissoni, the director of the SBDC, is here, and so is Caitlin Hill, the assistant director, and we'll hear from them in just a couple of minutes. But first, Mr. Gary Fulk, who established the business CODEBUSTERS in 2017. He has taught over 750 people the life-saving skills and techniques of CPR and first aid that he's practiced for his entire career. Gary, welcome to WJBC.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.
What made you decide that after doing this as part of a team for all these years, as a volunteer firefighter and a first responder, that you wanted to teach other people to do it too?
Well, so real quick, I want to just say something about the time frame. I started it about 35 years ago, but I totally was in the business for between 9 and 10 years. I happened to work for another company here in town, a large insurance company here in town, for 26 years in that meantime. So, but I did transport about 10,000 people in that time. I taught for the American Heart Association back during that time, and when I retired from that large company in the corporate world, I trained with them too, and decided that was something that I really wanted to do, and I wanted to do something impactful. And I thought, what's more impactful than saving lives or teaching people to try to save a life? So CODEBUSTERS came along, and I decided that was the path I wanted to take, and lo and behold, there was a need for it. And last year I taught over 105 classes, so I'm very happy about that.
Why the name CODEBUSTERS?
Well, a code in the hospital is typically something that you hear when someone is in full arrest. And obviously the busters part of it is we want to try to eliminate that. So CODEBUSTERS came out, and it was a little catchy with a couple of movies that had been out too. So I don't have a fancy car to drive like that, but it's kind of that in that realm.
So you did this, you say you helped to transport about 10,000 people over the course of your career as a first responder and administer CPR and first aid. And now you go to schools, you go to companies, you teach them some of these techniques so that if, God forbid, someone needs help and somebody like yourself isn't able to get there within a couple of minutes, at least something can be started before a professional shows up, right? Or maybe even you might be in a rural area and that person really is the only chance for someone.
That's correct. There's a lot of, I teach to a lot of different groups. I teach, especially Illinois Wesleyan, I teach a lot there for the nursing students that are coming out. EMTs that are beginning to start. I teach at Heartland Community College. I also teach at Advocate Roman. And a lot of times the folks that I teach are brand new to the medical field. They're getting their license because they need this for a compliance issue. And so we just go right ahead and get that taken care of and do that hopefully in a way that they will continue to do that and be that first responder that I tried to be whenever I was working with my 10,000 folks that I transported.
All right, now you had already established CODEBUSTERS and had been in operation for about a year when you decided to reach out to the Small Business Development Center at Illinois Wesleyan University. What compelled you to call them or contact them?
Well, my goal was to reach as many people as I could, just to let them know that my company was available, my teaching was available to them. So that they could have that. And I felt like I really wasn't hitting the mark where I should be because I was only looking at it from my point of view. I'm a member of the McLean County Chamber of Commerce, and in that process I saw advertising and also talked to some other folks that had utilized the services of the Small Business Development Council. So I gave Caitlin a call, and we got together, and it's been a wonderful experience. I've received many resources through them. Caitlin's helped me with identifying even little things that seem little to me anyway can be big things, like identifying ways of structuring my emails and utilizing actual snail mail, the USPS service, to mail things out for reinforcement and how that works. So I've been very thankful for that to get that done.
And what kind of response have you gotten from the direction they've given you?
It's funny because I can be from the direction of the Small Business Development Council or from the folks that get the information?
From the SBDC.
They've been really good. They've been contacting me. I get all kinds of information through them. I take their surveys regularly so that we stay on top of things, and Caitlin's always there when I need help.
If you have some interest in finding out more about CodeBusters, they have a website. Gary's website is CodeBusters-CPR.com. CodeBusters-CPR.com. That's Gary Fulk we're speaking with, the owner of CodeBusters. And when we come back, we're going to talk with Karen Bissoni, the director of the Small Business Development Center, and Caitlin Hill, the assistant director. 118 at WJBC. Welcome back to our Small Business Development Center segment. Karen Bissoni, the director, is here. Caitlin Hill, the assistant director, is also here. We welcome them to the studio. How are you?
Great. Thanks, Mark, for having us.
Good to see you. Well, we heard Gary's story, Gary Fulk from CodeBusters. Now, this is a unique business. I bet you've never worked with someone who has established first aid and CPR services before over at the Small Business Development Center.
I think that is a first.
It was a first.
Yeah, so a learning experience for you, too. And probably when he called you, maybe in some form, the question went through one or both of your minds, okay, I've never dealt with this kind of a business before. How do you market CPR and first aid?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a question that goes through my head probably almost daily with the many, many different types of businesses that we see. So it's really exciting to always get a new challenge and see how we can use general marketing tactics for specific businesses and specific industries.
So what did you do when he contacted you? You powwow and you say, okay, how do we, what do we do with this?
Yeah, absolutely. We pulled together a lot of different tools and resources, some research that we have that we can do at Illinois Wesleyan with databases, and just understanding, like I said, how you can take general business tactics and different channels with marketing and apply those to different businesses. We really try to get to know each business owner specifically and understand their goals or help them set goals with their marketing, and then help them, achieve those goals with the advice and the guidance that we can provide.
All right. I know you have a lot of resources and situations where you're teaching and reaching out to the community, and you bring notes on that every month. So what do you have for us this month?
Yeah, so I just want to kind of wrap up the segment with Gary. Gary's a great example of how we can work with clients to help them develop their marketing plans, like we mentioned, and really to be intentional with the marketing that each business is doing. It's very common for a business owner to get a lot of different phone calls from different marketing agencies and things like that, and we really want to help them work through those questions and those calls that they get and help them make the best decision with their marketing. But Karen is going to share a couple of events that we have coming up where we can provide some networking opportunities and additional resources for small business owners.
All right, Karen.
Great. Well, I'm really excited to share that we are hosting this month's Business Before Hours with the Chamber of Commerce, actually on Wednesday of this week, February 27th, starting at 7 a.m. at the Hanson Student Center at Illinois Wesleyan University. So we're looking forward to that event. Last year we hosted as well, had about 125 in attendance, and great networking opportunity for chamber members, and we're looking forward to it. We also have our next How to Start a Business in Illinois seminar, and that will take place on March 5th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Illinois Wesleyan University State Farm Hall, and that is sponsored by Town & Country Bank. We have another exciting seminar coming up, a hands-on marketing seminar. It's going to be held on March 7th from 8:30 to noon, and that will be held at Heartland, the Uptown Normal Heartland Bank Community Room, and we're going to discuss a lot of marketing tools to those that choose to attend, including Wix for website design, Facebook advertising, and Canva for graphic design. And if you would like to update your marketing, or just you're getting starting with a new business, this would be a great seminar to attend. Registration is limited to 15, so register today is our recommendation. You can do so on our website. at McLeanCoSBDC.org.
All right. Anything else?
Caitlin, did you want to talk about our business tip?
Yeah, so our business tip of the month is to be intentional with your marketing and to make sure, like I said earlier, that you have a really clear and concise marketing plan put together with those goals in place. So we're happy to help as small businesses work through that, like we did with Gary Fulk of CODEBUSTERS, and with any business owner that would like assistance with their marketing plan and organizing that better.
All right. Again, if anybody's interested in finding out more about CODEBUSTERS, Gary Fulk's new business. Well, it's not that new. It started in 2017. It's still a growing business. The website is codebusters-cpr.com, and on there you can find a phone number. You can find an email. If you feel like you want to email him with something, you can find out more about it. Gary, very nice to meet you.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks to Karen and Caitlin for coming in on this month's Small Business Development Center at Illinois Wesleyan University segment.